Alright. It is February 1st, so y'all know I gotta give you all a wrap up January. I read 5 books, and we're gonna go through them, and I'm just going to tell you guys about them. So yeah, y'all know what's running through my head right now? Righty Tighty Lefty Loosey, and that is so random, but I want y'all to know right now, whoever said that, came up with that, 8 down. What a queen. Seriously, what a queen. And if a man came up with that, what a queen. Seriously. I genuinely like applaud you for coming up with Righty Tighty Lefty Loosey, because that is just really one of the pinnacles of my life. Righty Tighty Lefty Loosey. I got my book journal out. That's all I always do. And I'm just gonna tell y'all the books, tell the stars that I gave them, and get y'all out of here, okay? Let's go in order. First one, The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. Now, nobody told me it was a boy. I thought it was a girl. Riley Sager's a man. That's okay, but that's okay. He's still a queen. 349 pages. Little suspense, little thriller. And we have Casey Fletcher as the main character. And she is she was a celebrity, but her husband died. Whole time her husband died in the lake. So she went on like a fender bender, and she was like drinking so bad, and the tabloids started talking about her. So her mom moved her to this secluded lake house in Vermont. No phone, no contact with the outside world. Well, she does have a phone, but she only uses it to call her mom and her cousin. And her only form of entertainment is the neighbors. So she has this house that lives directly across from her. There is a husband and a wife, Tom and Catherine, and she just watches them from day to day, because her husband used to have these binoculars for bird watching, but now she uses them to spy on people. Okay, girl. And she starts to see like some interesting things. They have arguments, they have like altercations. There's moments in time where he puts his hands on Catherine, and one day Catherine's just gone. Like her stuff isn't there anymore. She's not there anymore. And Casey's like, well, what happened to her? He's like, oh, she went back to New York. And she's like, something's fishy here, because I just saw y'all have a heated argument. You put your hands on her, and then she just ends up disappearing. So she starts to like get to the bottom of what happened to Catherine for real, and it was kind of crazy. I gave this one 3 stars only because it was a supernatural element in it that I didn't expect from Riley Sager. It was kind of unfulfilling when the plot twist came along. I was like, wait, that's it? I kept thinking I was getting like pranked and stuff like that, but no, it was the actual plot twist, and I was like, okay, well, that was kind of subpar. But yeah, like I said, I gave that one 3 stars, and I read this one from January 1st to January 6th. So yes, first read. Next read is called Tender is the Flesh by Augustina Basterica. Now, I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right, and I'm really sorry if I butchered it, girl, but your book was good. This one is 209 pages, okay? And it's a dystopian novel set in, I don't even know what time it's set in, but I think it's more futuristic, kind of, sort of. Marcos is the main character. He works at a meat processing plant. But let me tell you the tea about the meat processing plant. The animals in this book, so the animals that humans consume, you know, pigs, goats, chickens, cows, those type of animals. Why am I saying those type of animals? All the animals in the world got sick. Dogs, cats, any animal that you can think of got sick, to where humans could not be around them anymore because they carried this fatal disease. So if you were around the animal, you got infected, you were going to die. If you ate the animal that was infected, you were going to die. So the humans started to eat other meats. You're like, what kinds of meats are there if there aren't animals? They started to eat other humans. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Marcos works in a processing plant. He works in a processing plant. The processing plant processes humans to be bred for cattle, to be bred for cattle, to be bred for consumption. They have slaughterhouses for humans. They have breeding farms for humans. And so I was just like, oh, okay. Okay, it wasn't really dystopian to me because slavery. I hate to say it, but slavery, they was doing that to us when slavery was wrong. So because it wasn't dystopian to me, I was kind of like, ooh, this is really rubbing me the wrong way. It was really making my stomach churn because I know this happened for real, just not on a broad scale of like people. But I know this happened for real. Not the story, but like the whole processing plant, breeding plant, cattle farms. Yes, those used to exist for people. The narrator, Marcos, unreliable as all get out, okay? And he really tricks you all the way up until the end. You're like, oh my gosh, like he's really different. He gets gifted a female, but he can't bring himself to kill said female. They don't call the humans like men, women. They call them like head, or they call them like cattle, or they call them like a stud. They don't use like any terminology that would humanize said cattle. So he is gifted a female, and he's like, oh, you can breed it on your own. Obviously not with him. He cannot impregnate this female because it's against the law. But he ends up falling in love with her, and it's just really crazy. It's only 209 pages, but it's like, once you get to like the last 10 pages, it's kind of like the music in your brain starts to get suspenseful, and it's just like, okay, what is going on? The violin, it's going all dramatic and stuff. It's like, what is going on? That's how I felt reading this book. I kind of felt on edge the whole time. But yeah, 4 stars. 4 stars. Definitely 4 stars. Mind blown at the end. That was January 6th to January 9th. Very fast read, okay? Next book is called Long After We Are Gone by Tara Shelton Harris. Okay, now this is my first book by Tara Shelton Harris, okay? And she is a Black author. Yay! Shout out to that one. Okay, 414 pages. It was like kind of a feel-good book, and it is about 4 siblings, and it is split POV between the 4 siblings. There's Junior, Mance, Cece, and Toki. Those are the 4 siblings. Their father passes away, and the last thing he says is, don't let the white man take the house. But the siblings are also trying to figure out who they are as people without their father around. They don't have a mother. Their mother, what happened to their moms? I think she walked out. She definitely walked out. So they don't have a mom. Their dad just passed away. They don't stay with each other. They never really got along. So they have to like find their way back to each other, find their way back to family, find their way back to like their relationship with each other, and while also dealing with their own issues. One of the sons is gay. I feel like I should mention that he's gay, but he's also married to a woman. Talk about a Tyler Perry movie. The other son has a son who's deaf. The daughter, she's like committing fraud, and then the other daughter, she has like overeating problems and stuff like that. So it was a lot of heavy topics in this book, but the way that they kind of like found themselves in each other was kind of beautiful. And then they also saved their father's house, which is like slay. 414 pages. Yeah, it was kind of thick. We could have chopped like 50 pages out this book, but let me show you something. Let me show you something that I thought was really cool. Hold on. She put pictures of the characters in the back of the book. Like, look at that. Hold on. And she has one for each one of the siblings. Wait, I missed one. That's Cece. 1000%. Yep. This is Mance. Okay, strong man. He's the second born. And then this is Toki. She's the youngest. So, oh my okay, period. I was messing with the pictures in the back of the book. I kind of like pictures. We need to put pictures back in books. That's just me though, okay? 3 stars, and I read that from the 9th to the 13th. Now this one. If you heard about this one, how do you feel? How do you feel after ending this book? It's called The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros, okay? And if you can see here, it says, as seen on TikTok, okay? 424 pages, another thick one. Romance. And it's about Ella, who has his brother who's in the army. Her brother has his friend named Beckett, and her brother signs Beckett up to be pen pals with Ella. Now, they end up writing back and forth. They fall in love with the letters, but Ella's brother dies, and in his last death wish, he wishes for Beckett to go home and take care of his little sister. Now, Ella did not know that Beckett was his real name. She knows him as Chaos. She's thinking that Chaos and Beckett are 2 different people when they're the same person. So when Chaos goes to show up at Ella's door, he's like, oh yeah, my name's Beckett. I was friends with your brother. She don't know that this is Chaos. She thinks that Beckett is a completely different person than Chaos because Beckett he can't say his real names in the letters for, like, I don't know. Maybe that's an army thing, but he can't say his real name in the letters, so he uses his call sign in the letters. She doesn't know his real name. So, yeah, it was interesting, but it was kind of in the middle. It was boring, and I feel like she kind of threw the ending on there to just shock us, because I was shocked at the ending. I was like, girl, what? But I give it 3.5. I gave it 3.5 because it was kind of boring. It was kind of boring until like the ending. It was like wha-bam, wha-bam, and then it ended, and I was like, oh my god, that was so sad. Did it make me cry? No. I've heard people say that it made them cry, but it didn't make me cry. I was just kind of like, okay. She did too much at the end, but you know, I guess, you know, she did too much at the end. Ella has twins. She's 24. She has 5-year-old twins, and it's like a whole thing with him and adopting her children. And her 5-year-old daughter has neuroblastoma, and you know, whatever. I don't even have too much to say about this one because it kind of pissed me off at the end. But yeah, like I said in my notes, she could have chopped at least 100 pages off. Yeah, I definitely second that motion for real. And I read that from the 13th to the 17th. Can I talk? Now, after I finished the last letter, I took a siesta from reading just a little bit. It was like a week, not too much. And I picked back up, and I picked this one up. The Perfect Son by Frida McFadden. Now, originally, I wasn't going to do 5 books in January, but I was kind of like, I could hash one last book out, especially if it's Frida McFadden, because I read her books really fast. 306 pages. I don't even got to say it. Y'all know it's suspense. Y'all know it's thriller. Frida like her thrillers, okay? Now, Erica is the main character in this one, and she has this son, and he seems a little too perfect for taste, right? He does everything right. Everybody likes him. He has perfect grades. He has friends, but like people are complaining that he's like, well, he has his friend that he's not friends with anymore, and Tyler's like, he is insane. Like, you need to stay away from him. And there's this other girl in the book. Her name is Olivia, and she has this huge crush on Liam. Liam is the perfect son. She has this huge crush on Liam, and she ends up going on a date with him, and she has to go home early, so she goes home, and Liam shows up to her house in the middle of the night, and after that, nobody saw her ever again. Nobody saw her ever again after that one night. So everybody's like, what happened? Liam, you were the last one to see her, so obviously you have something to do with this. He has like collections of, like, not collections, but like he has this past of like saying creepy things. Like when he was in kindergarten, he said that he wanted to get married so bad so that he could lock his wife deep in a hole and see how long she could go without food. Like creepy things like that. And so everyone's like, okay, he's a little weirdo. Like, he's a little weirdo. They all think he's like in on it. He definitely kidnapped this girl. He definitely killed her. Probably got her in a hole somewhere to see how long she can go without food. No. It's not what you think, definitely. It's never what you think with Freddie McFadden, but you read enough Freddie McFadden out, but you can kind of see what she's trying to do, who she's trying to push into your suspicion, who she's trying to push in the line of light for being the murderer, but you're kind of like, okay, I know it's them because I read enough Freddie McFadden novels. That's how I was looking at this one. 3 stars, because that's like, yes, the plot twist. But she threw an extra care in there to throw me off my track, and I was like, oh, okay, you got me there. You got me there, but that is not a crime. So, yeah, Freddie McFadden, The Perfect Son, my last read of January. That was from January 25th to January 28th. I would recommend that one. All the books that I just told you about, I would recommend them, just depending on what you're feeling like, what you want to read, what you're into. Yeah, that's really all I have. We'll see what I'm reading in February. I did just buy 2 new books, and I also am reading If I Go Missing. I'm currently reading that one right now. But this book this book is called The Crash by Freddie McFadden. I can't stay away from her. I can't stay away from her. I just be wanting to see how many Freddie McFadden ones I can read. And I think I have quite a few left. So The Crash by Freddie McFadden. And now, quite frankly, I have to stand Riley Sager. I'm in my suspense bag for sure because I bought this called Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. And y'all, it's hardback. Hardback is hardcover. Yeah, first hardcover read of the year. Yes. These both sounded very. Should I read them to y'all? Should I read them? We're gonna read them, okay. Frida McFadden, The Crash. Dun dun dun. How many pages, first of all? $371. Alright. The nightmare she's running from is nothing compared to where she's headed. Tegan is 8 months pregnant, alone, and desperately wants to put her crumbling life in the rearview mirror. So she hits the road, not realizing she's heading straight into a blizzard. Hours later, when Tegan is stranded in rural Maine with a dead car and a broken ankle, she worries she's made a terrible mistake. Then a miracle occurs. She is rescued by a couple who offers her a room in their warm cabin until the snow clears. But something isn't right. Staying here may have been her most deadly mistake yet. A gut-wrenching story of motherhood, survival, and twisted expectations. Best-selling author Freddie McFadden delivers a snowbound thriller that will chill you to the bone. So, okay, that's that one. Next one is Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. Okay, the worst thing to ever happen on Hemlock Circle occurred in Ethan Marsh's backyard. One July night, 10-year-old Ethan and his best friend and neighbor Billy fell asleep in a tent set up on a manicured lawn in a quiet, quaint New Jersey cul-de-sac. Talk about pronouns. In the morning, Ethan woke up alone. During the night, someone had sliced the tent open with a knife and taken Billy. He was never seen again. Now, my question is, why would you slice the tent open? You couldn't just zip. What happened to the zipper? You couldn't do that? Dramatic. Anyways, 30 years later, Ethan has reluctantly returned to his childhood home. Plagued by bad dreams and insomnia, he begins to notice strange things happening in the middle of the night. Someone seems to be roaming the cul-de-sac at odd hours, and signs of Billy's presence keep appearing in Ethan's backyard. Is someone playing a cruel prank? Or has Billy, long thought to be dead, somehow returned to Hemlock Circle? The mysterious occurrences prompt Ethan to investigate what really happened that night, a quest that reunites him with former friends and neighbors that leads him into the woods that surround Hemlock Circle. Woods where Billy claimed ghosts roam and where a mysterious institute does clandestine research on a crumbling estate. The closer Ethan gets to the truth, the more he realizes that no place, be it quiet forest or suburban street, is completely safe, and that the past has a way of haunting the present. everybody takes the covers off. I don't. The green is cute. The green is cute. Don't get me wrong. The green is cute. But yes, this one has, hold please. $365 pages. Now that's what I'm talking about, Riley. You know how to end a book on a even number. We talked about this before. But yes, those are my January wrap-ups, my February TBRs, and like I said, I'm currently reading If I Go Missing. This is the one I'm currently reading by Leslie Wolf, If I Go Missing. Yes, this is where I am. I gotta pick it up, don't I? I gotta pick it up. Yes. Yes. Yeah. See y'all in the next one. Toodles. Toodles.